Well, if you thought Storm Babet caused endless problems last weekend, it's not over yet, really, because the Met Office has extended Scotland's yellow weather warning and warned of severe travel disruptions during this weekend.
Yeah, the problems are going into Sunday lunchtime, they say, due to torrential downpours, also warning of significant flooding impacts, as they say. And, of course, these areas already hit by that flooding of Storm Babet, claiming 3 lives, let's not forget, in Scotland. ScotRail saying no direct services between the Central Belt and Aberdeen or Inverness until Sunday.
Well, one of the organisations hit by all this flooding is a horse sanctuary, Redwings Mountains Horse Sanctuary in Scotland. And its boss, Lynn at Cutress, I think can join us now. It sounds terrible, Lynn, what you've been going through over the last few days. Just talk us through what's happened.
It feels like Groundhog Day today for the team. So last Friday, we knew from Thursday night that we had a major issue. I've got an experienced manager who's been up with us for about 7 years up there, and she's Scottish and from the local area. So she's used to dealing with things. However, she warned me that this was going to be unlike previous storms they'd had. She did what we've done in the past. We've got the Northern River going right through the one part of the site. So we moved our horses over to the highest and safest area. And we did that on the Thursday and then made sure that we'd given them enough feed and forage that was really practical for them. And then Friday hit. We always say to staff, don't go in unless you think it's safe to do so. There were staff that made it, but not as many as we would have liked, but they were phenomenal staff, and a couple of them, one in particular, really supported us to make sure that we prioritised actually which horses needed care first. It's our site with the highest proportion of horses on medications. We've got lots of geriatric horses there, so they went into a model that they've had in the past, but on real Uber mode.
Yeah, we're just seeing some of the aftermath of the water going into the various buildings, the stables, and, of course, I guess where you keep the feed. So it's not just getting the horses to safety, it's making sure that the food is supplied and they're fed and watered. Well, not watered, at least.
Yes, it's making sure that we can get everything to them. And actually, just when I was waiting for you to dial up to me, I've had an update from them. So we've got 2 further flood warnings in there. So what we've been doing is, as well as controlling, we have a great maintenance manager, and he's been spending his time focusing on preventing further water getting in, while the team are actually looking after the horses. So he's diverted part of the stream elsewhere on an overflow. So our bridge that goes between the two, which we're planning not to use unless we really had to, have to access some other areas, now gone 6 inches higher, but it's still flowing freely around. And it's all thanks to that combination of maintenance and course care and just having people that are just phenomenal. Yeah.
Lynn, how big is the sanctuary? How big's the site? How many horses do you look after?
So that site actually has about 80 horses, and it has a couple of 100 acres. Some of them aren't serviceable for grazing because obviously they're on big hills. And so for us, it's about 80 horses in that particular site. Right. Yes.
And how do the
donkeys? Don't forget, donkeys do not like rain.
Well, I was going to ask you that. How do the horses, the donkeys, cope in this sort of extreme weather?
They're resilient, more resilient than we think. However, as I say, we have a high proportion of horses that are either geriatric or on special medication, and we do have a lot of donkeys there. So they cope okay. The most important thing is to make sure they're not trapped anywhere. Yeah. So the horses that had to be stabled, we had to regularly check on and make sure that there wouldn't be any water getting in there. And those horses that are out on fields, we want to make sure they can get to places of safety and they can choose to do it and work naturally within their own instincts.
Right. Well, the latest, just to tell you, from the Scottish Environment Protection Agency, river levels not expected to be as high as experienced during the storm, but the rain will be, of course, falling on already wet ground, so yet more problems. But we wish you all the luck for this coming weekend. Lynn Cutress there, Redwings Mountain Horse Sanctuary. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.